What's going on, guys? Captain Horn 23 here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys a new product that has recently been released that I ordered and received about a week ago, and I've used it a couple of times and it's great. It's a brand new product line, I guess you could say, by Thrustmaster, and it's going to be really good. I think it's going to make a lot of sales when the new flight simulator comes out, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. But I'm going to angle my camera down here. It is the TCA Thrustmaster Airbus Sidestick, and this thing is really cool. It's pretty much a one-to-one replica of an actual Airbus Sidestick. It's really cool because it's ambidextrous. You can use it as a first officer or captain side. I use it with my left hand, of course, because that's where it is for the captain. But anyway, it's a really neat little box. We can see it right here. It's got an Airbus cockpit right there, and it shows some different features about the actual joystick. We have some H.E.A.R.T precision, which I'm pretty sure that's like surgical precision technology, target programming software, and different buttons that you can program. So let's go on into the box and see what we've got here. Pretty simple packaging. So we got the instruction manual here. Very simple. I mean, you really can just plug and play. A lot of writing there. And I mean, the only important part is this right here. Shows you how to change out the different buttons, but I'm going to do that. So inside we got that, and it also comes with these two things, which are the different side buttons. I'm going to remove them. So here's one of the buttons, very nice, and then this one is the other side button, just like that. Pretty neat. And of course we have the main purpose of the video. I'm just gonna throw the box down here. That's it, nothing else in the box. Is this. This is it. This is the actual joystick, Airbus Sidestick. So it is very neat, very nice looking. I can tell just by moving it like that it feels so locked in, like it's on rails. Very powerful spring in it. It'll actually take some getting used to if you're coming from a different joystick. I've noticed it travels a lot further than any other joystick I've used. Like, you can just see how far that travels. It's got a little trigger here. We got a lot of buttons on it. So we got a trigger here, a main trigger, and even up here we have another little trigger right there. On the side we have this red button here. On this side we have this black button, and a hatch switch, an 8-way hat switch. And down here on the base of it, we have multiple buttons here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 buttons on the base, and this is your little throttle right here. It does not travel far at all. I mean, and you can feel a little detent right here. Whenever, right there's the detent. That's as far as it'll move for reverse engines. I don't use it. I just use all the way back for idle thrust, and then push it a little bit forward for like taxi, and then that's obviously takeoff, toga. But yeah, there's not that much travel at all. But Thrustmaster is actually releasing a Airbus Throttle Quadrant, which I've also pre-ordered and will also be making a video on. I believe it releases September 30th of this year. So I can't wait to get that, because then I won't have to use this barely moving throttle here, and it's actual, throttles, like a one-to-one replica scale of the throttles for an Airbus. Back to the joystick. On the back it says Airbus here. Very neat. And it comes in this kind of grayish blue color, just like your typical Airbus would. But yeah, it's just one connection, USB. And yep, that does it to connect. That's all you got to do to connect it. Regarding axes, we have, of course, elevators right here, ailerons, and it even comes with a rudder if you twist it like that. And you can actually lock that. It's got a pretty cool little mechanism right here. I don't know if you can really see that, but if you press it in like that, now you can see it, it no longer allows the rudder to move. So that's useful if you have rudder pedals, so you don't accidentally twist it, or you can just disable that axis altogether. And then to remove it, you just come up from the bottom and do that right there, and it's able to be moved again. So it's very neat. The buttons even have little dots on them, like 1 dot here, 2 dots there. I don't even know if you, yeah, you can kind of see that, a dot there, so you can get a feel for it. So yeah, that's really it for the actual joystick. Now let's see, we're able to replace these little buttons right here. Now it's actually pretty easy. All you gotta do is find the side with the screws, which is gonna be right here and right there. Get you a screwdriver, of course, and start unscrewing. So I'm gonna unscrew this side here. I think that's good. And then of course, this side here. It's only 2 screws. And wow, I can already see them like falling apart right here. Yep. And once you do that, yeah, these are pretty long screws, man. Now we just have a joystick. No buttons or anything on them. Oh gosh, that feels weird. But if you wanted to have 2 red buttons on either side, you could just do that right there. Looks kind of strange. Or you could switch these to get a first officer. So if you wanted to use your right hand, you could switch both of these like that. And now you're able to use your right hand and have the big red button over on your right thumb, just like that, instead of having to awkwardly reach over to this one. Or you could make both of them, you could just totally get rid of the red buttons and have them both the black buttons, just like that. Kind of makes the joystick look a little more slick, in my opinion. But I like having the red button, so you can customize this to however you like, but I'm going to leave it just like that. So, because I'm always going to use my left hand and I want this red button on my left hand here. And once you change out your switches just the way you like them, you can just insert the screws back. It's very simple. You just push them through that hole and then you screw them back in. Just like that. It takes a total of like 2 seconds. Well, maybe not 2 seconds. But in fact, as I said that I'm actually having trouble with this screw, I found it. There we go. And there we go. That is all it takes to switch the buttons. So yep, now let's actually go into the simulator and I'm going to show you how good this joystick actually is. So I will be right back. All right guys, so we're now on the tallest A319 Airbus, of course, because side stick, you can see that right there. But yeah, we're gonna test out this side stick here by Thrustmaster. And if I go to my window view and I twist to the right, there we go. We see the ailerons working just fine. Let's go to an exterior view here. And we've got our rudder and elevator. If I twist here, the rudder moves just like that. And if I do elevators, there we go. Looks good. And I'll show you the travel on the throttle down here. So if I push it up a little bit, the throttles move. You can barely see that. They do go up though. See, the N1's increasing. And see, that's throttle climb right there already. I mean, it's not much travel at all. And my lord, okay. But yeah, so that's why I can't wait for the actual throttle quadrants to sit right over here or something, come out. But anyway, why are my altimeters so messed up? Let's go ahead and take off, and yeah, I'll show you guys what that looks like. So there we go. We've got flex thrust on, and see my rudders. I can turn to stay on that central line on the runway. Man, I like X-Plane, but boy, I can't wait for MS 2020 to come out. I'll tell you guys that. It's gonna be great. Especially, I mean, MS 2020 by default comes with a Airbus A320. Alright guys, so we're at V1 and I'm gonna go ahead and pull back on that stick. And you can just see how precise this joystick really is. Alright, and I'm gonna bank to the left here. And just look at how precise that is. I mean, I can't even explain it really, but it's a very wonderful joystick. I got this for like, I believe it was $70, maybe $80 from Walmart. And I was actually kind of surprised to get it. I definitely think this joystick's worth it. There's a lot of different buttons. The hat switch moves just like that. Perfectly fine. It's very precise. I see what they mean when they say surgically precise. I just love the fact that there's so much amount of travel between the joystick. I mean, it really does feel like a replica of an Airbus Sidestick. I'm not saying that I've flown an actual Airbus before, but if I were to fly one, this is exactly how I would expect it to be. So I'm just gonna bring this in for a landing real quick. See how good I am able to land the aircraft. All right, so we've got full flaps out. Runway is off to our left there, right off our nose. We're gonna touch down 36 center, which is the runway we actually took off from. But yeah, this joystick is definitely worth it. Now, if you're used to flying with your right hand on a joystick, then it's gonna take a little bit of getting used to. It doesn't take that long, actually. I expected it to take really long, but to get used to the left hand, but it is very easy to get used to the left hand. And wow, we are going to come in way too fast here. But yeah, it does not take that long to get used to the left hand. And I mean, it only took me like 2 or 3 flights to even get used to this. And I mean, you can see how good my lineup is with this runway. Oh man, touchdown please. Thank you. But yeah. And just to reverse, I do shift slash and then throw the throttles all the way to the maximum. So that was actually a decent landing for coming in that fast. And then I have manual braking on my trigger back here, because I do have rudder pedals and I might put them under me again. But I mean, this has rudder and steering, so why not? You know, I mean, what's the point of having the rudder pedals? More realism, I guess. But yeah, so that's a landing. It's actually really decent. I kind of want to go back and watch that. But in conclusion, this joystick is definitely worth it in my opinion, if you can spare the $70. Again, I think these are going to be huge hits when Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 comes out. Mainly because of their price tag and just how good they really are. I cannot tell you guys how excited I am to fly an Airbus A320 with this joystick and eventually the Throttle Quadrant. That's going to do it for today's video. The link to buy this Thrustmaster joystick will be in the description. Please go order it now while you can, because they're kind of running low. I had to pre-order mine. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Don't forget to like and subscribe and keep a outlook for future videos, specifically Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 when it comes out on August 18th. So yep, goodbye guys.